Hello, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the Move, Breathe, and Flow class. It's happening this week and next week at 12:45 for adults to have a pre-lunch bit of movement, or kids that think they are grown up enough, and or if they need supervision, of course, and parental guidance. But it's all safe movements either way. Um, I'm Rory Lemonade, osteopath. If you haven't met me before, I hope you've had time to watch my online workshop, which is free on YouTube at the moment. Find it on my page. If not, then take the time to have a look at it, as all this stuff will make a bit more sense, because the theory really informs the practice. If you're aiming to maintain your health for any reason, then you can, create the motivation for movement using the workshop. And I'm here for any questions of any kind. And as with the alien disco workout, please make sure you have enough space around you to move your arms. We're going to do a bit of jumping, but you don't have to jump up too high. And watch out for any sharp corners or beings of any kind. And it starts off very gentle, and we'll start off very gentle today. And you can be as vigorous with some of these as you like, and go with how you feel in the moment, and staying within your comfort zones of range of motion. So this routine is a simple taster of what's possible with lymphatic health exercises, and most of the movements are found in other movement practices anyway, so bear that in mind. And also, you can dip in and out of any of these techniques throughout the day. Just do 90 seconds if you're feeling a bit acutely stressed or anxious at or all the way through to the more you do, the more might possibly help. So bear that in mind too, that you can do an exercise you like doing and how it feels anytime, and it will have some effect on your lymphatic system. So I'll say this many times: it doesn't aim to address aches or pain or fatigue in this basic routine, but we can look at that with consultation, check out your symptoms, and sort of understand a bit more about if there's anything concerning going on. And it would be interesting to know if you have any effects from just doing this short class in the moment, or if you're following along cumulatively. One thing to bear in mind, that the breathing pattern is always trying to be nasal, keeping the mouth shut, tongue on the roof of the mouth, and controlled down into the belly, and being as slow as possible when you're doing the breathing. And again, don't do anything that doesn't feel good to do, or push too hard into end ranges of movement. And without further ado, let's move, breathe, and flow. So let's first of all do some tapping. So we're just going to tap into the muscle bulks here, tap onto the bones. It all helps to get some movement and vibration into these areas, drainage of the muscles and the fascia and the joints and the bone. Massage tends to just go only so far when you're pressing to somewhere, but the vibration gets a little bit more deeper in there with the exchange of movement. Tap on the lower ribs there, on the belly, rub the belly, rub the sides, rub down the arms. Let's tap into the buttocks here. Nice heavy, loose wrists, straight arms. Go as hard as you feel is comfortable again. It's just about going how you feel. If you feel strong and you can tap quite hard into the areas and it feels good, then do it. If it feels like you want to be light, then do that. Nice heavy fingers as well. Straight but loose wrists. That's quite nice for smaller areas or smaller parts of bone. And you can tap anywhere you feel that's nice. Okay, so let's shake off our wrists and shake off our feet. Shaking off, shaking off, shaking off. Imagine you've got water, trying to flick it off. Flick, shake. And we can do a little bit of shaking that's a bit more rhythmic. Rhythm helps us feel regulated and safe on our nervous system. So find your rhythm. If it's more slow and relaxed, then that's fine. If you're feeling a bit wired and you want to let go a bit faster, then find your rhythm and go a bit faster with it. But we're sort of mainly aiming to just find a rhythm and really relax the muscles so that things wobble a lot. And this is going to help get that vibration into the cells down to the cellular level of certain areas and generally. And a nice sort of bob where you're sort of catching yourself, pushing yourself back up, creates a nice vibration up through the spine as well. Always going with how you feel. If it feels good, let's do a little bit of side bending with it. Just shoulders up a tiny bit. There we go. Breathing in slowly now. So once we've started to do any type of exercise and we get into the rhythm of it and the pumping, then get into the back to the breath, slow it down, breathe in slowly through the nose. This is my diaphragm, and breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. You can also hum as well. This is going to create some nice vibration in the nasal cavity. So all around where the sinuses are. The sinuses help to drain the brain, and so that's going to be good for getting this nitric oxide going, which is also then goes down into the lungs, back into the blood, and that helps us to, it's a relaxative effect on the nervous system as well. There's lots of different things that help to relax us, and nitric oxide is also antiviral as well. So it's very useful at this time to be breathing through our nose and creating that vibration by creating the nitric oxide and then breathing it in slowly after you've created it. Okay, so let's do a standing meditation. We've done a lot of vibrative sort of stuff now, so we can feel that what work we've just done, and it will help us to be mindful if we just stay still for a moment and notice what's happened. So we're going to just unlock our knees slightly, just drop them down, only slightly, not to the point where we're holding the muscle tension. Just come back up again, but don't fully lock the knees back. Then roll the shoulders up, back down, let them just hang down so that we're onto our skeleton rather than hanging off it. And then let them just relax. They can roll again, but just let them relax. Everything's relaxed. Once you get into position, let the chin just drop down slightly, opening up the joints at the back there. Breathing in now. Breathing out. Breathing out. Let everything sink and relax. All that vibrative work that we just did really can be noticed now, and we can be mindful. It's going to help our mind and our body at the same time. Even 90 seconds of this can be very useful for us to just step into. So let's do the heart sequence movement. So we're just going to we're going to drop down in full body motion, standing up, breathing in. Breathing out, pushing away. Sink down. So it's a full body thing. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing out, sinking down, relaxing. 6 rounds of this is really good. You'll really notice a difference afterwards, well, I hope. And relax. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Let everything drop and hang. Breathing out. Let go of any muscles you don't need to be using. It's easy to suddenly forget and hold yourself again with unnecessary muscles. Round and down. Similar stance. We're going to do the twist through the back, relaxing the arms, and hold it like imagine we're holding a beach ball. Breathing in. Relax everything. Breathing out. Come back to the center point. Breathing in. Feel where you end up naturally wanting to stop. Breathing out. Any stiffness, just go to the start point of that stiffness. Even if it's small, go to it, come back. Because that range will change as you use your breath and as you keep showing your brain and your body that you can go to those points and they will slowly melt and you'll get more range over time. So that's all the breathing, moving, subtle stuff. Let's do some pumping action stuff, okay? So, 1 moment, so I can see the screen. So, I'm just going to create a nice bobbing rhythm again, we just did before. This time we're just going to let our arms flick up and relax, flick up, relax, flick up, relax. Find your rhythm. Find your own comfortable rhythm with this. It could be shorter and faster. Again, if you want to, if you're feeling a bit more like you want to let go of some nervous energy, or if you're feeling like you want to really go long and slow, as long as you're relaxing and getting that pump going, bouncing, a little bit of a squeeze in the back muscles there, squeeze, not too much, and relax. Let the arms just fall down. Breathing in now. And out. Breathing in. And out. Probably a little bit of a head tilt downwards as the arms come up, just to get your spine slightly undulating in motion. Go with how you feel. Right, let's get some pumping in the calves going. Great lymphatic pumps go on in the calves. So let's just walk on the spot if you don't have a surface. Coming up as much as tippy toes as you can. Again, just be in your comfort zone of movement. If you can go high, go high. If you feel it's a bit stiff, just go with movement in the range that feels flowing and free. Going to a wall gives you more of a stretch, and you never push deeply into a stretch. When you're pumping, just come off slightly, the deepest part of the stretch, and be in that longest range you can get whilst it feels free. And then you can sink down slowly over time. See how that goes. Back to the breath. And out. can also do push-offs whilst you're here. If you're not used to doing push-ups, you can build up muscle endurance by just giving less gravity to the situation and just to use your muscles, get it pumping. It's more about the pumping with the lymph stuff, but it will help the muscles to build up a bit of strength. Walk away from the wall, and then once it gets a bit too much, you stop, and then you'll end up doing a bit more each day if you try it, if you want to develop strength in those muscles. So let's do some shoulder pumps. So cross over and then bounce a bit, then just drop, coming across, swapping over, the elbows change, alternate. Give the shoulder blades a nice squeeze out the back. Squeeze, squeeze, relax. Open. You can splay open the hands at the back. So splay, splay open. That gives everything at the front a nice little stretch too. And again, don't push too hard with anything. Keep it relaxed. Once you've got the rhythm, breathing in slowly. And relax, breathing out. Okay, let's do some funky spinal dances. So we're going to put our hands on our hips, just feel where our hips are, or our pelvis is, and tilt it. If it's difficult, then put your hands on and feel your thumbs and your fingers changing position, and grab hold of it and physically turn it, and to get those muscles working. Then once you can feel the muscles that you want to be using, start to try and use them. But don't push again too hard into anything. Once you've got the motion, it's about a smooth pump. Relax. Then you can start to relax the arms, tilt the head down. Be in your very comfortable mid-range. You can go a bit fast, or you can go slow to really, if you're trying to learn the rhythm or the motion. But then once you've got it, go back a bit fast. Into a bounce again. Keep that motion going. Really wide arms, or bent arms, reaching up. Reaching out. Change your shoulder positions, keeping that rhythm going. Nice and relaxed. Breathing in now. Breathing out. Going back to the breath just helps you to do a motion more times as well then. So you've got into it, you've done it, your brain wants to stop, but then you do some more breathing and you end up doing twice as much of the pumping exercise as well. So it's very useful to come back to the breath each time. Let's go disco hips. So we're unlocking and locking the knees there, and that's just creating a pump through into the pelvis, getting the side bending of the spine. You get the shoulders to go up and down, reach up. Nice and relaxed, don't push. You can go slow if you're not used to the rhythm again. Reaching up, you could just do a little bit of more of a standing cat squeeze, but slow. And feel how that's responding. Then come back to more fast again. Hands out to the side. Play around with where your arms are in space. Backwards, forwards, around. Football. Or you could do Kylie. What is it? There we go. Don't look too far. Turn too far. If you've got any neck issues, just let it be in its comfort zone. With a bit of mental floss. Okay, so let's do the rotational spinal movement. So we're just going to walk on the spot, twisting over. Twisting over the knee that's coming up. Relax now once you've got the motion. Just drop all your muscles that you don't need to use. It's about pumping, keeping the rhythm. Turning over the knee that's coming up, reaching up. You could reach up a bit. You can tap your toes forwards. Tap your toes now. And you can reach up to give a little bit more of a stretch down the side and stretching the hips there. New York, New York. Okay, so let's go on to some more vigorous stuff now. So there's star jumps, but we can do star pumps if you don't like jumping too much or not much space, or you're worried about shock going through things. Then you can do a standing, coming down, coming up, and splaying the feet out like a star shape, nice and relaxed. You can come down and go onto tiptoe if you feel you can. And there's also star jumps, which is like a twitch rather than a jump up too quick. So nice and relaxed. Back to the breath. Breathing out. Through the nose, relax. Breathing in. Breathing out. Obviously, you're going to want to start breathing in faster, but try to control it so it's slower still. Slower than your brain wants to, because it means you will lose and get out of breath less, or come back to being out of breath quicker if you don't get out of breath too much. So breathing in and breathing out. Totty dogs. So springing forwards and backwards with the feet. Add the arms. Relax. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out. Out. And out. Breathing in. And out. Let's do some Superbrains. So these, if you haven't done them before, they're very strong and get a lot of fluid going very quickly. They're really good for draining the brain and the gut. In fact, it's just a massive lymphatic pump throughout the whole body. So what we're doing is we're closing up everything on the outside by going into a squat, closing the hips here, going down into a squat. Notice how far you can go, and then crossover, W shape, and then we're going to keep the arms tucked in, the elbows tucked in as you go down, and we're going to just take hold of the earlobes, breathing in as we drop down, pull out, down, breathing in, and breathing in. Notice one or two if you haven't done it before, see what it's like. It does get your heart rate quite quickly up. It gets everything flushing quite a lot, and generally feel pretty more awake after doing those. And it's been shown to help with children with autistic and ADHD traits. They're very stressed, they can't express themselves very well, and this has been shown to really help calm them down. So sort of almost like the flushing aspect really does something for them. So yeah, draining the brain very quickly helps them to calm down, even though it's an upbeat type of exercise. So let's warm down with some arm swings. We're just going to drop down into the knees and the hips. The hips and the pelvis stay roughly where they are. And just let your back twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let your arms just go. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing out. All about the relaxation in the muscles. Breathing in and out. And out. Really helps just get that back relaxing and twisting. Again, draining. Okay, a couple of last things to do a little bit of a release after all of that. So we're going to do breath of fire. We're going to just drop again into the pelvis, let that just sink and relax so we've got space to move, but we're just solid into the legs there. We're going to tilt forward slightly just to give a bit of space for the belly to move, and then we're just going to contract the belly in to feel where the muscles are. Relax. Contract. Relax. That's where they are. That's what we're going to do with them. So we're going to fire them quickly this time and then fully relax after each one. So that's one, and then it's better to do one and fully relax it than do a lot where you're just tightening up and tightening up and tightening up. So go in your own time, in your own rhythm, and that's so good for the belly. Obviously, got my massaging all the colon and the small intestine and all the gut there, and draining the heart and the lungs, and getting lymphatic flow moving. Yeah, one place. We're a pressurized system. Get it moving one area, it's going to drain everywhere else. Especially, it's going to be helping to drain the brain again as well, for a quick refresh of our mental state. Then there's the lion's breath. This is just going to let go of all the negative emotion that might have been building up. Well, it's just fun to do in either way. So we're going to just stick our tongue out as we are on a breath out, and it's going to help stretch all the nerves and the muscle attachments that travel down into the gut as well. That's going to give it a nice stretch too. So we're going to breathe in, and then roar and breathe out and stick the tongue out. Let it all go. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed all of that. Like I mentioned before, this can be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what's possible in a short space of time with some lymphatic health exercises. It may be all you need if you have plenty of health activities in your life or daily life, but this quick routine doesn't necessarily cover all of the recommended movement of your day, and so it's better to do little often throughout the day. So you could pick one of those exercises and just do 30 seconds to 90 seconds if you've only got that time, but it's much better than waiting to do an exercise routine. So if you think you need more motivation to move or want to understand more about breathing or mindfulness techniques, or if you're feeling down, stressed, fatigued, or in pain and don't know what to do about it, or if you just don't think you have enough time for exercise, then I'm here for one-to-one consultation on any of these factors. There's a booking button on my Facebook page, or you can send me any questions you like. And finally, information is knowledge, knowledge is understanding, understanding is power to manage your health. So help the project survive, Donations fully welcome for those that can afford. Reviews, liking and sharing for those that can and can't afford. And feedback, questions will help improve and strengthen and develop this project. All the links in the description of the video. Coming soon, and see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. There's a weekend break, and we'll do this all again next week. So have a good weekend. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.